what are they? These, just out on the ground, you know, the beds where they're on the ground. Yeah, we had those everywhere outside, so that's what they slept on for like most of until like the first winter. Then I made like a block area. I think I made over here, and I mostly just like collectively got everybody to go sleep inside, and that was the best we could do. And yeah, we had no food. Everybody was upset from transit, and I took prisoners on the way. I took like 20 prisoners on the way here, and they destroyed my geothermals and stuff, and I had indoor grow rooms and shit attached to that was supposed to be our food source, and it was almost colony ending. We've had like 3 near colony ending events so far. Do you get used to some particular person in the colony, and if you lose them, you go like, oh no, not him, her. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. I have 21 original colonists that are still alive, right? Like, I give a shit about them. I'm trying to keep them alive to the end. That's like a Costa. I'm not going to go through them all, but like, as a Costa, there's Armia. I'm in there as well. I've got name and game character, but I wasn't original. I just happened to walk into my colony. What else have we got in here? Got like a couple more. We got Chimpanzee Collector, not Butcher. He's an original. Got E and some other people and stuff. I care about them a lot. I also care about some of the older original colonists, like Nitro is the first colonist to have joined my colony. That wasn't originally brought in. So I care about him. I also have like other people, like I was talking about Rose earlier, who has had so many tantrums where she's tried to leave or run wild, and I'm just like hell you are. Like, she's right here. She's having a tantrum right now. But she does animals and stuff, so she's pretty important to me because, like, I've always needed somebody that's, like, pretty high on animals. And she was with us from pretty early on. Esme is also one where we fought really hard to get her a spine. And because she had really great stats. She came in on a double 20. She had 20 on shooting and 20 on something else. And I accidentally broke her spine when I took her. So we had to go and find a spine from our allies and stuff like that ASAP so that she could get back up and walking around and using her skills and shit. So, like, I care about stuff like that. Obviously, there's, like, some people in here, when I've taken big hits of, like, 18 to 20 people at once, I don't fully know them that well. But, like, I know Delicious is a great shot. Chalky's a psychopath shooter. He's fantastic. Like, he's not actually a psychopath, but he is psychotic on the battlefield. He's fantastic. Lumi should be a pacifist, I'm pretty sure. Or if she's not, then it's Shizuka. So that's fine. Lumi's an original. Grasshopper's a complete psychopath. He's our cook. He killed 7 people at our first location when we were trying to leave. And I keep revoking his health privileges because of the shit that he does. But then I keep accidentally adding them back later because he's a cook. And I value cook with medical skills because they don't leave my base and stuff. So, like, I care about that. Like, Corpsey's our, you know, social person. There's my chimpanzee, my original one and stuff. Franklin, my pacifist healer. He's an original and stuff. Like, I do care about them quite a lot. When we have a raid, I save the game. I save at the start of the raid and I see how the raid progresses through. And if it's a really poor outcome, I will reload and I'll try again. But trying again doesn't always mean a better outcome. Sometimes it just changes who's gonna die. So sometimes I've had it where one original colonist has died versus 4 like really good but not original colonists, and I've had to choose saving the one colonist over the 4. Or, like, I also have animals that came in originally and stuff like that. Like Bubba's one of my original panthers. He's also somebody in my community as well, so I thought that was really cool. I don't rename anybody. They name them themselves, and they are whatever names they are. So if I see somebody's name and I'm like, you're the same name or similar to somebody I want to take, I will take them for that person and stuff. But yeah, like Big Boy and Drooly and all sorts of stuff. I think Drooly's an original and whatever, but yeah, I've also got 1 cat out of the 2, Xena, We lost Zeke in transit. I think he had a heart attack and then I think people ate him. So we lost him and stuff, you know. Amazing that you remember some of the people who's joining along the way. I would say I remember about, give or take, 170 of my colonists out of the 282 that I've got. Because we've also had around about 68 colonists die so far. So there's that. But yeah, for the colony wealth, for the question about that before, Normie, my colony wealth, if I can highlight on just it, I don't know if, there we go. Okay, it's currently, we're at day 950. How many zeros is that? 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 2,115,198 wealth at the moment in total. And this big ass drop here, this is when we had to abandon our second location. So we built up. You can see it about here. This is where we moved into that, I think. This is where we like moved. And then that's where we had to abandon it. And this is where we're up to again. So we're much higher, except for wealth of items is about almost equal. Wealth of items is almost equal. Thank you for the follow, Wolfon. Yeah, so we're almost equal in items, and that's only because it's taken us ages to have the resources, and we've had 3 near starvation events as well, so we just constantly never have the items. But wealth in total, we're way up there. What is this one? This is creatures. Creatures is always about the same, where I just sold off a bunch, which I'm surprised it didn't go down. I guess it did go down a tiny bit, and it's gone back up. I sold off like a few hundred baby animals because I was almost going to cap these. Like I've got, at the moment we've only got like 35, well we've got 80 ducks and 53 chickens, but we had over 100. We've almost capped the female cows once, we're nearly there. We had all of this like buffed up to cap, and then I sold all of the offspring because I needed shit, but it's fine. I'll get the meats and leathers and crap again, and when my caravan goes out, hopefully the people in the caravan that are sent out will be able to do both the mining, and they'll be able to cut down some trees and pick up some berries and get some medical plants and hunt the animals. I'm pretty sure only 2 people have got a gun out of that group. That's Delicious and Chalky. But you should be... yeah, you can definitely do hunting. You'll be fine. I just don't know if there's anybody else. Like, Sasha's a miner. I can send her on it. She doesn't do anything else, though. She would just do mining. If I could find somebody else in my base that can do some mining and do some plants, that would be just amazing. I did send a medic. I sent Kimmy again. She's going to go back out. And we had Mega Scarab die on our last caravanning run. Minor pain. That's fine. So Mega Scarab died on the last venture out. We were at 283 colonists, but he got attacked by... was it bunnies? It was something really small. It wasn't like terriers or anything. It was something really small. And he got fucked over. One of his legs got really infected and crap. So yeah, he ended up dying from that. Recreation star. Feral mate, you're always... hold on. He's getting there. One more absolute tantrum and we can take him out of medical privileges. He's ravenously hungry. His problem is that he's moving around really, really slowly. He also wants an impressive bedroom. He's frail, and I refuse to give him bits and pieces and stuff because he keeps having, like, tantrums and breaking important shit. So his bedroom should be... no, it's up here somewhere, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's already got shit. He's got, like, a small statue and a good statue. He's got shit. He just... it takes him forever to go anywhere. And I tried to, like, heal him up once. Same with Nina. I healed her up. Nina's an original, though. She had the priority. But, yeah, Farrell is on his way out of my colony. Farrell, McJolly, and Sky, and somebody else. Where is my thing? I might have accidentally set that the wrong direction. Hold on. Yeah, that's... Alright, let's have a look. Turk Skizzer is insane, by the way. Skizzer has had no medical privileges since the last location for one whole IRL year. He has not had access to medical, and he has gone into psychotic battles, and he has gone into actual battle, and he has fought animals and all sorts of shit. He has not died. Same with McJolly. She's been the same. Hamster Manatee. Manatee is bonded to something. Hold on a second. Who are you bonded to? Or is your animal dead? I can't remember how to fucking check. Hold on. Maybe you're not bonded. I thought she's bonded to a rhino. Hold on. I'm looking for the name Manatee in here. It might be Whale. Whale is bonded. If she's not bonded anymore, is this the only thing that I've had preventing me from letting her go, was that she was bonded to a rhino. But I'm guessing that rhino number 3 must have died. I know he died a while ago, but I didn't check. She's not in here, so Manatee I guess can die off unless she bonds to somebody. Doesn't look like any of these are bonded to her, so yeah, no, I guess we can let Manatee go next time she goes in battle. It's fine. Oh, both my cats are in here. The Grasshopper's been on this list for ages. Green should be in here as well because he's sickly, but he's not. He must have good skills. Fine. Anyway, so basically kind of what I was doing tonight is I was kind of assessing, trying to build extra food, assess how many beds I'm using, and I'm trying to kind of work out, because it's been a long time since I've actually cared to look at what kind of a size bedroom I need to provide my people with, because I've got to provide around about 270 bedrooms because I've got 22 couples. I want to try to provide them with a small, like a single bedroom, but I'm trying to also see if any of these, there's an excellent one, they'll do it. I'm trying to also see what I can put in here without detracting from it that will make it better than cramped. I think a rather tight bedroom would be better than a cramped bedroom, right? Wealth is impoverished. I'm sure about that. Somewhat poor. Hold on. Where's the fancy room? A human has a really good room. You. Medicore. Okay. So she's got 3 statues, a little box thing, side bed. You got excellent, good. There goes a boom rat. Excellent, good. And okay, so she's got 3 excellent items in here. And it's Medicore. It's decent impressiveness. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm just trying to figure out how big of a bedroom I want to provide them in the next location, because originally I had planned to have a bedroom about twice the size of one of these, so about that sort of size, give or take, for one bedroom. But when I moved in here, we only had like 240 fucking colonists, and we have like 282 now. And that was not the intention. I'm trying to take an army of 250 colonists across the world to land them shit quests, right? But the next location only has a very small area. I haven't moved yet. I know where I'm going, but you guys got to wait. So it's only got a very, very tiny no build zone in the entire map, which is fantastic by comparison to this bullshit. I love this, but I can't fucking build on it, right? It's not like it's a problem. I could build out here, but like I definitely can't grow on that. And that's been capping me pretty hard. So yeah, we'll work on it. But if I could roughly know, like, this is still rather tight. What if I made it, how many across is that? Thinking it's not quite perfectly square. Let's move it down by 1 whole row. Not like that. Oh my god, get rid of that. So move it down by 1. If they had a single bed in here, they do have, that is an excellent limestone bedside table. Now, I could steal somebody's animal bed just to put this in here. Or I could actually, hold on, light leather. Light leather would do it. It wouldn't give us the exact same materials, but it would show... I could do it in cloth. Or sheep wool or something. Hold on, what have we got? We have got heavy fur, should be... I think heavy fur is about the equivalent of blue fur. Hold on. I think I was making these out of blue fur. Sheep wool. Am I making them all out of sheep wool? Yes. Okay, so I probably don't have enough sheep wool to just casually do... Oh, I'm making extra ones in light leather. Okay, this'll answer my question. So what is your beauty? I'm doing a lot of like extra stuff tonight that I wouldn't normally do regularly in a stream, like this kind of stuff, because I mostly know most of my shit, but there's a lot of like little details that I have not looked at for so long, because obviously like we moved here a fucking year ago, and we moved from like the first place like over 2 years ago and stuff, and I just haven't looked at little details for a long time, right? So like that's a good one for 97. I mostly want to see the beauty area, like what they think of it kind of thing. I wonder if... would it tell me if I highlight over it? I turned it off. This is cramped, but it's a medical room. Okay. Turn that back off for a second. Stop stretching paws. How's wagging tail happily? No. You howling about, Viking? Hopefully you're not having bad dreams. I'm trying to find... Oh, there's a good. Hold on. So the sheep wool one sells for a fuck ton more. So I could probably assume that they would think that the sheep one is prettier than the light leather one. Because a lot of my colonists think that like the value of things is like makes it more expensive. But I'm looking at a good to good ratio, right? Okay, that's probably prettier than that. By that logic, thrombo fur would be way up there. That and guinea pig fur, actually. Guinea pig fur is stupidly expensive. Alright. I'll give you some pats, Viking. Alright. So if it's... light leather's not really going to give me the most beautiful room. But light leather would allow me to get something built in here. We do have guinea pig fur, and that could maybe simulate sheep wool. Blue fur should also be it. I normally use blue fur for everything because I have a fuck ton of mufflos. So I can usually just make shit out of that. Camel hide. I do have, I have a tiny bit of sheep wool. I might have to just transplant one in here because I need 2 more objects to be in here to take up floor space. Actually, hang on a ticket. That's a fucking good question. I just thought of something. So that's saying 12 on cramped. What if I put a animal sleeping spot down? It doesn't count. Interesting. Okay, so I could allow my animals to sleep inside the bedrooms without having allocated beds because I don't think my little panthers and cats really care. There's a cat. Okay. So what do you think of this space, little cat? You have sleep and food. Your grandmother is Xena. No shit. She is like the noble of this fucking game. And you don't care about anything else. So, okay, so the animal beds are purely aesthetic then. So I could put down animal squares on the ground and it wouldn't really matter. I also have proper bed things there. I should have panthers. There's one. There's a cat. Okay, cat, what do you think of this little shoebox looking thing that you're sleeping in? Happily receives pat smiles. No. I wonder if it equals more or better sleep. Sleep 40% is how much time the creature has spent sleeping. 0, the creature will eventually fall asleep on the spot. Okay. 48%. So it's mostly, it doesn't impact their quality of sleep or their speed of sleep at all. Cool. Okay, so pet beds are purely aesthetic. If that's the case, I could save space in the bedrooms by putting animal sleep spots, which don't impact the room size. And although, like, I've got 2 there and then I've got that, right? And I was looking at the fact that the only reason why I put a bedside table in every room was to bring up the wealth of the overall room. And to, like, I think it improves something. I can't remember what it does. And table, small bedside table, which makes nearby beds a little bit more comfortable, must be placed directly adjacent to the head of the bed. Placing more than one end table near the same bed has no effect. Okay, so let's see. It also does a beauty of 6 for a good one. So it brings up the room and it makes the bed a tiny bit more comfortable than whatever the setting of the bed is, which a good one we could assume would be somewhere between a good and excellent. We can kind of work with that, which means whoever in here's got the fucking legendary bed, if that hasn't been destroyed, good on them. They have an insane bedroom. So what I want to see is, where is this room? Yeah. Okay. I don't want to wake up Muffalo while he's asleep. I keep doing this to him. He's our newest colonist. And he has decided to take this specific room out here, which is fine. But I'm fucking around with it at the moment. I'm doing stuff with it. So if we don't have... I don't think I have enough jade to do something like that. I do have a lot of uranium, but I don't have enough uranium to do an entire colony of bedside tables. I do have a lot of... I've got a lot of limestone here. I have a lot of slate. I have a screenshot. You guys don't get to see where we're moving to yet, but I want to have a quick look at what resources I'm going to be working with. Because it's not like it's going to tell me, but I should be able to look at the rocks and be able to tell. We definitely have slate, and I would say that's probably limestone. Yeah, without being able to hover over it, I would say that's limestone. Hold on. Look at my own colony for a second there. There's some white rocks there. Yeah, no. Limestone. Okay, we're gonna have slate and limestone at the next place. I've taken screenshots and I'm mapping the whole fucking thing out. So usually when I move, I normally do this anyway. I normally take the time and I try to find where we're gonna go to. And I try to, figure out what I kind of want to do with that place to make sure that I can use it or it's practical and stuff. When I chose this place, I chose it like, I literally saw this map style and it looked so much like my old original Asora colony, the colony that I had before I started streaming, and I wanted it. I wanted that layout so badly. I just accepted this place and I regret not being able to grow on a good portion of my map. That has been fucking hard because all of this has had to be grow areas and stuff to compensate for that. And I'd like to keep my grow areas indoors if I can. Either these kind of indoors, right? Like, I like having my grow rooms like this. I'm just gonna turn that off. I know I've left that on for most of the night. I meant to click on that properly, that's fine. Or we're gonna start having little grow rooms that have these in them, since apparently they can grow quite a lot, but they still need the lights. Oh, those lights. So yeah, I'm gonna work with that because I do think between that and maybe these kind of grow rooms, I should be able to produce enough food. Especially as we move further up the map, it's gonna keep getting colder. Like, this location does not have snow. The last location was a permanent summer. Our first location had snow for half the year, quarter of the year, whatever. Our next location should be high enough past the equator because here is just cusping on. It doesn't quite get cold enough. Let me bring up some stats. My land. It doesn't quite get cold enough to not be year-round growing outside, okay? But when we move, once I move past this line here where we're at, it should start moving into the, like, partial year growing. Like, where were we? Down here was permanent summer. This was like the equator of the thing, I think. That had to have been like perfectly dead center or about that. But yeah, we're getting up into the cold areas. When we eventually are up there, we're gonna need to have perfected fucking indoor growing, which should be interesting because it's gonna obviously affect like future games and stuff as well. So I do find that really, I'll probably start having more indoor hydroponic shit, but yeah. Pause again, wagging tail happily yawning. No. You're getting all limber, are you? Potential zoomies in, like, I assume not, but like there could be zoomies if you're stretching. It could be sleep if you're stretching too. Let me try getting rid of the extra wall because I don't think I'm gonna end up making somebody's bedroom this big. But alternatively, not wood, I would say, I don't really think much of limestone, but I do think like I will generally build more with slate because like dark. I actually really wanted this place to be marble, but this location had no fucking marble. And I don't think that the location that we're moving to has marble either, which is fine. I can kind of deal with that. I can do what I've done already, and I can haul in like marble from caravans and shit, so it's fine. But I would say I don't think there's going to be any difference between slate and limestone dresser. But we're going to build 2 outside in slate, and we're going to build 2 in limestone. Sorry. The only reason why I want to do that is I want to see what it thinks of limestone. Beauty is a 5. And this is it unbuilt, right? Okay, so 5 versus 6. Slate is better, so we will get rid of this. So we're going to build 2 slate ones then. We'll chuck that in that room once one of them hopefully is an excellent or better. Because I would like to use the full dresses again. Visually, I'd like them to have nicer rooms, but I also don't believe I could provide them with a room this big. Honestly, because that's nearly 2 bedrooms at this point. Hold on. How big is this room inside? It's a 5x5. It's a 25 square. Alright, and the other ones weren't that big. I guess 12? 12 inside? Give or take? Alright. So, a 25 square room. Like, I could do this. It's just that, I think it would absolutely chock up my map. And to be fair, like, when I make these rooms, if we count the fact that those rooms would fit in between these, right? If I hadn't have divided them up, like, about to there, would have fit in there. And probably that much would fit there, give or take. And then I did that, I could fit them all on one side. If I had done all the bedrooms on one side to 5 rooms wide, honestly, if I had have made this a little bit better, it would have been great. So what I sort of mean is like these bedrooms, for instance, like this one's detached. If I had have made the 3 individual bits in here, 1 extra line in the middle here, and made these 3 rows detached, they would all be the equal temperature. Because what happens with this layout is it's very hard to see, and if you're colorblind to like blue-green, I'm very sorry, you're not going to notice this. But this is kind of yellowy-green, sort of slightly less, light blue, and then green again. This is 21 degrees inside, hallway 17, that room's about 20, 18, 21, 22, 18 and 22. So it ranges between 22 degrees to like 17 degrees through here, and it's not even. It should be, but it's not even. The only way I could have done this better, and I know that, is if I had have double walled the outside completely, and then had all of these individual rooms where the hallway is funneling the temperature to ambiently heat because then the double walls on the outside would prevent the external temperature of being summer or winter impacting the outer 2 rooms, and the inside would have balanced it out. So that's the only way I could have done this kind of thing better. I just didn't want to build more over, and I'd already had this because we only had 3 rooms originally. We had 3 rooms going up and down here, and then we got over 220 colonists and I started needing more rooms because I think this was only about 180 for these 3 rows down, give or take. So, and then of course we ended up with over 250. So we ended up making this fucking apartment block over here, which I never wanted this over here. This was a nice open area. And same with this. This wasn't here originally. That was. So I used to have like really good battles over here. And I have tried to turret this place to high heavens to prevent this side of the map from resulting in a battle. As you can see, we have like twice as many on this side as opposed to over here. It's not super obvious, but you can kind of see how many more overlaps there are. It's a lot more over here. So the other thing too is I have to send some of these resources to the next location because I don't want to... I have enough metal to make all new resources, but I have to take the caravan of like the 10,000 fucking steel out of here again and stuff, you know? Which, mind you, if I could get access to my last space, I would take all the steel. I don't know if it would still be there, but I would so take it. You have inspired surgery. I have people that need surgery. Hold on. We even have extra stuff in here. This is actually clean for once. You know what it is? What color are you? You're projecting the orange. Hold on. I have noticed that this room looks kind of off. There we go. What it is this hospital has had one fucking orangey warm brown light that's been making it look like slightly like not dusted down here. Like there's dirt or something sitting here. It's just one fucking light. I noticed it a while ago and I've forgotten all about it. Sorry, mate. How you been? Getting some skills. Very good. I have a few people that had like no skills when they came in and they are slowly getting skills. You've got a gun too. Great. All right. What do we got? We have a bionic stomach. We've got spines. That must be the last spine. Yeah,